just really excited with how they went about making this Hemera drive, and I wanted to share this with you. So apologize if there's any shaking. I am just holding the camera. Just very clever. But I did take this apart. Just square nuts. Looks like they used them in another spot here, so there's 5 nuts total. One's on the floor now. And they just took a NEMA 17. Looks like a pancake. That's all it really needs for the torque wise. They just used, it's like powder injection mold, I believe aluminum parts. Same with this. This is plastic, the toggle. I believe the gears injection molded as well, powder injection molded. So we have the 2 gears here. What's intriguing is the amount of detail that they went into this. Very well done. It's all one piece, all aluminum here, with inserts that they've already put in. There's no way for me to get those out without ruining something. And then all they did, if you look just straight down on here, is they just took a drill bit and they ran it down on one side, they ran it down on this side. You can kind of see where they had left material here. So they had molded it with that entire pass-through in place. And then they cleared it out with the drill, or I guess with a mill. And same operation here. Looks like they did change tools to a slightly smaller mill for shining this up, and then they milled this top face out as well. That's the only thing that they did from this one side, and it makes so much more sense to have this flat for that process. It's just because you can just set it in there, fixture it easily, and it's just done. Looks like they probably cleaned the holes out on either side before placing those. But again, it's a very square part and very easy to fixture. Like these fins come up and they make a nice square mounting point. Although this side's probably a little bit more challenging. Oh, and you can even see that right here, and then this faceplate, and that just makes the manufacturing side of this so much better. So much easier, so much cheaper, even though it is a fairly complicated part. It's nice to see that there's kind of an internal heatsink here. There's really not a whole lot going on as far as heatsink, aside from just trying to cool this part right here as much as possible, as that's the closest to the heating element, the hot end. So just trying to cool it as fast as possible, which is great. But then this is just a really complicated part, but they simplified it by just going ahead and effectively casting it and then machining out as they needed to later. And they just did a really great job, and it's all in one piece, so you never have to worry about slipping, no set screws, nothing. It's just done. This does run on 2 bearings. One of them is inset here, and then the other one sits surprisingly loosely in here. I would like to have seen that tight so that bearing doesn't spin and wear out that aluminum over time, but low speeds shouldn't it be an issue. On the other end of the spectrum here, we have this plate. This part's the plate. This part's the tension lever. Way overbuilt, but made of plastic, so it's very lightweight. Nicely done. And I was worried that this was kind of similar to a drywall screw, but it's not. So this nut actually sits inside this black piece, and then as this screw, it comes in from the other side, so it pulls much like this. So as you pull this piece that way, it spreads it apart in a very linear fashion, so it's always parallel. And then the spring sits between here, including a little extrusion, and then it pushes against the indent on this frame. And that causes that increase or decrease in pressure, but also makes it really easy to know how much pressure is a good starting point. And as I talked about in the video, it's just about making that white piece flush with the surface. And they're able to keep it parallel with the double ramps. I just find it really well done, and I'm super happy with that. I did look on the inside. I was a little curious about what kind of circuit board this is for the 6 pin. I don't even know if they're utilizing the 6 pin. It looks like they're just on there as placers. I didn't see any sort of capacitor, inductor, phase alterations in order to split the windings actually on this. I guess it's the 2nd and 5th pin, although it might be reversed. But so it does use the 1st, 3rd, 4th, and 6th. I don't think that circuit board actually allows for a split winding configuration on this motor, period. But that's not my area of expertise or anything, and I've got a little bit more digging to do, but that's just from what I could look up. This piece is kind of the last step here, and well done, where they put just I believe it's a nylon bushing on the inside here. It doesn't look as white as nylon usually is, but it might just be uncolored. And then that just rides on this axle here, which just clips right in. And real simple, long life, don't have to worry about that at all. I mean, if it wears just a tiny a bit, and you can always tension up past what that will ever wear. I think this is going to be a really good long life product. Just real solid all around. I'm real happy with it. Really steep gear reduction, but it is metal on metal, nothing plastic as far as gears go. I think this is going to be set, and I really wanted to share that with you. So thanks for joining me.